Welcome everyone to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Art Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo. A battle has
Today we're taking a look at the Mikel class starship. One of the first Klingon designs, and modified from the Star Trek Discovery sarcophagus ship. Now, before we get to this version, I am going to basically summarize what the Star Trek Discovery campaign guide has said about the sarcophagus ship. Remember, most of the they came up with a very interesting plot point that most of the Klingon ships seen in Star Trek Discovery were actually salvaged and repurposed Herc vessels. And the sarcophagus ship was one of the biggest of the lot. Quoting direct from the book, while details of the vessel's original purpose aren't clear, some records found in the wreckage of the vessel in 2283 suggested that the Herc may have used it for terraforming or for the biological seeding of Herc genetic material. Contradicting that claim are ancient tales from Kronos that mention a vessel made of glass that could disappear in front of Klingon astronomers observing the vessel and led the initial invasion of Kronos. The vessel was destroyed in 2257 while under the command of Cole of the House of Kor. That's about all I'll say about this thing.
And I suppose that's my cue to take over.
Our planet is under attack.
Do ignore the warnings.
Yeah.
The F, I believe the term is F4 Mikel, was one of the oldest Klingon vessels ever made. While certainly reverse engineered from Herc technology, it is most undeniably Klingon. Most of the bulk of the vessel is actually made up of a massive fusion reactor, though it was retrofit with a matter-antimatter reactor after 50 years in service. Her massive bulk actually served rather well in that regard. Remember, in Star Trek, nuclear power can actually power a warp drive. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
However, Klingons really... they're not the best engineers in the universe. They're not stupid by any means, but they're not great.
Yeah.
As such, the radiation shielding for the grossly oversized reactor was suboptimal. This actually led to the ship's unofficial nickname, Hipekuchon, literally meaning dead crate in English. However, the proper transliteration would
Enemy
be
ships are on
sarcophagus,
their way. Be ready.
because radiation sickness and the health issues that come with it were common on ships like the Mikel. That said, they do perform the support role really well, and while they certainly had their problems, some of which were fixed in later refits, allowing the ship to serve right up until the end of the 23rd century, when most of them were scrapped thanks to the coming of the Khitomer Accords. Two vessels still exist, one of which was donated to the Federation as a sign of friendship after the signing of the Treaty of Alliance, and currently resides, undergoing restoration and decontamination, at the Fleet Museum at Ethan Prime.
Ah. The other one, I imagine, probably fills a similar role in a Klingon museum.
Oh yeah, these guys love oh, we get to see it in battle.
Oh.
Okay, what the hell? I might as well send the entire fleet to
Much
fight a
glory
war.
awaits you.
Yeah. So,
Why not?
let's get to the
Let us
stats
start
for
the
this
hunt.
thing. Ron and I have given
enemy
this
ships
thing
have
an
arrived.
entered service year of
Reinforcements have
2050.
arrived. Reinforcements have arrived.
So, this thing is very old, and as such, its baseline systems values aren't that great. The fact that it's a scale 5 starship helps a little bit, but not much. We only had 26 points to work with. I put that as comms 3, computers 3, engines 4, sensors 4, structure 6, weapons 6. Even back then, the Klingons were focusing on conquest, and this thing was a bombardment ship.
Support and bombardment, I mean.
Yeah. For departments, this thing has 1 point in engineering. Department modifiers, it has 1 point in engineering
Reinforcements
and
have
2
arrived.
points in medicine. Because, as Ron said, radiation sickness was a thing. For weapons, it has disruptor cannons and photonic torpedoes.
Let us
I don't know
start the
when.
hunt.
I figured that was
For the
that would
Empire.
be that represents the Klingon basic torpedoes easily enough. You could replace it with an equivalent of spatial torpedoes if you wanted, but I think photonic works. For talents, it has polarized hull plating and rugged design, like any other ship well, any ship this early would have that. And for special rules, it has poor radiation shield. The areas around the main reactor suffer massive radiation due to poor shielding,
Good.
resulting in a hostile 5 radiation hazard
At the helm.
to any crew in those areas. For those unfamiliar with the environmental hazard rules
Reinforcements have arrived.
and environmental damage rules,
Enemy ships.
a hostile
Be ready.
hazard, a hostile environmental hazard, deals damage equal to the severity every minute to in an interval between 1 minute and 5 minutes. That interval is consistent, but technically it's up to the GM. So, and
Reinforcements have
radiation
arrived.
leaks from
Join us in our hunt.
a fission or fusion reactor certainly fit the hostile category.
Reinforcements have arrived.
So this thing is pretty nasty.
Later refits.
Yeah. And descriptive traits, Klingon starship.
The dead crate.
I'll call it the death crate.
These weapons, you can see it.
Yeah. Disruptors and torpedoes. And like I said, using photonic for the basics. Using photonic for the baseline. And if you want to go, later refits might include upgrading the photonics to
Reinforcements have
photons.
arrived.
So that is the Macal.
It's not getting old.
Yeah.
realize the ship actually fulfills its Herc job. It's bombing things.
Yeah.